Welcome back. Let's play Shogi Ladder Week 6. We are so fortunate as to be graced with this tournament organizer and very strong player. It's going to be quite a game. At least I hope so. Alright, good luck. Let's see. So I have been making the strongest possible effort to learn some Joseki recently. And this by no means could possibly mean that I know everything. But I hopefully know quite a bit more than I knew a couple days ago. So hopefully this will lead to something exciting. Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna play this very exciting stuff here. So, let's see. We got here through a confusing move order. This has me confused too. Ordinarily, like this, well, I was looking at this reversed. I think I still do want to put my silver over here. I might improvise my castle a little bit, which is kind of weird, but yeah, we're gonna play this very thematic castle, but maybe I put my gold over to the right one. So this does deviate from the way the castle's normally played. But it looks interesting. Oh. Oh, that's curious. Okay, I'm going to open this diagonal for my bishop. Now I have to decide, do I block my bishop or do I move this to the center? Well, the whole point of what I just did was to not block the bishop. So if I block that, that feels painful. Interesting. I have a choice of where to move my silver, and faced with the choice, I always pick the worst option. But no, I like this. This looks interesting. We're going to have a challenging game ahead, I hope. I dream. Okay, where is he castling and what am I doing? It becomes difficult for me to harden my castle further. So this gold might support me trying to claim space in the center. Or rather, if I'm trying to take the third file, then having my gold supporting my bishop on the fourth file could be useful. Oh, oh, that's right. I should have been trying to expand my castle a bit here. That would be a way to strengthen it. Um, yeah, no, I missed that. This is a very good flexible move. Uh, So yeah, potentially there are ideas on this eighth file. Potentially my gold just goes up to support the bishop and these get exchanged and then my bishop drops somewhere useful. Not sure what other potentials there are here. Other than potentially I'm very over-optimistic and this is just all going to backfire. That could happen. But yeah, what I've been trying to do is either break on the 8th or 7th file here. Or 2nd or 3rd file, depending how you count it. I guess since I'm playing Senta, this is 8th file and 7th file. Because we read right to left. Okay, so if I bishop exchange and then drop the bishop to hit the knight, what does he do? mean, he could drop the bishop to hit my rook. As best as I can tell, I'm okay here. Like, I've made some effort to build a castle, and my rook covers the side, the left side, and my generals cover the right side. And while normally pushing an edge pawn would be a useful defensive thing, here it's not merited. What is the purpose of this move? Other than trying to goad me into taking the bishop, like, what is the point of this? Oh, no, he could put his rook wherever he wants to put his rook. That's the aim here. If I block with my silver, they could trade the rook for bishop and gold. And I don't have a tactic at the end of that. As much as I'd like to have a tactic, I don't have one. So I have to block here. Blocking with the gold might have been the play. I didn't even consider it. I should have considered it. I didn't. That's my fault. What's he going to do with a pawn in hand if it can only go on one file? What could the pawn possibly do? Oh, I see. If I bishop drop, he bishop drops here and my bishop's cut off. That's the relevant detail. That's why a bishop trade doesn't favor me here. Okay. Let's make use of this knight, although it's awkward. Oh, my gold is hanging. I was just going to let that hang, and I forgot that it was hanging. Alright, so we retreat one. I could have brought the rook over to defend it. I didn't think my rook had any chances on this fourth file. Once pieces begin exchanging, this could get awkward. So well, I see one move that looks interesting, and it's awkward, but I don't see a problem with it. I'm trying to find a problem, and I'm just not finding one, so we're going to play this move. The problem is that perhaps the bishop becomes corralled, but I don't think it does. I predict I can move my gold, or I read that I can move my gold and silver forward to force this rook to move to give my bishop somewhere to go. If I'm reading that correctly. Right, this is a gold, well, this is a gold trade. If he elects to move his rook over to hit my bishop, I can take this gold, he can take my gold. I think that's fine. Admittedly, this is a pretty unusual opening, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take whatever we can get. Okay, that's certainly unusual. Oh, I see. This threatens to just outright win material. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, there are two things here. I'd only read one of them. The other one that I'm now reading is actually pretty bad. Oh dear. How do we play this? Yeah. The thing I didn't read was this drop. That hurts. So, I mean, I could do something similar hitting his rook, but it's not as effective. Well, actually, maybe it is complicated. If gold drop, silver fork, he takes my knight, I take the bishop, he takes my rook. I have a bishop. That's useful. This position is just dangling by a thread, if that. Also possible might be just dropping. Well, no, this pawn's defended. But, like, if my king takes, the horse takes here. What a mess. If gold drop, I think I just ignore it. And he checks me and I just keep walking. Okay, so we don't need anything quite that insane. Well, this is less than ideal for so many reasons. Right. That's the most obvious reason. This is going to cost. I can't save the gold. Like, all these tactics suggest that if I do silver takes, I'm getting royally destroyed. So instead, we need to go this way. We need to remove this piece from the board. That piece is such a severe threat to my position. Okay. Man. Oh boy. It's not the move I want to play. Okay. So I have some idea what's about to happen. I have the slightest idea what's about to happen. Oh, I missed this. Alright. Well, consistent with my idea of running, now would be a good time to get the hell out. So there's going to be a rook that is going to hurt in just a second. Oh, Byoyomi count. Delightful. I'd almost forgotten. I tried to forget. The problem is if I move my king, well, I had anticipated this. I was more concerned about me losing my dragon. Like, yeah, he's got a dragon and 2 horses. Like, yeah, whatever. Big deal. I mean, it probably is a big deal, but let's pretend that I'm okay. Let's have a good imagination for once. It's going to take a really good imagination. So I guess this is both a defending and an attacking move in some sense. I'm defending against a gold drop here. Alright. Interesting. Okay, this threatens mate in 1. I should maybe defend against that. No, I have already defended against it, but my defense is inadequate.
30秒 40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4、5
I call your bluff. He's probably not bluffing. But what else can I do? I'm sure someday I'll actually see what he's threatening. Right now it's just extremely unpleasant that, like, my dragon's attacked. Oh, I see a threat now. Okay. That's a good move.
30秒
That's a good move.
40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4
This is terrible. So he's got both bishops and both rooks. And 3 knights out of the 4. Yeah, for me to find an attack here is going to take a miracle. Oh. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, let's finally concede this. Alright. Wow. That was an adventure. Yeah. Let's see. Let's reduce the board size. Okay. GG. I guess we start from the beginning. Because this is how we analyze games, but... yeah, I wonder how we... Oh, certainly, yes, please. Thanks. Yeah. So this, yeah, I guess this move did result in my golds becoming separated. I guess the typical move is, yeah. No, you're right. Okay. It does complicate further. Yeah. Okay, if your opponent's attacking on the diagonal. Ah. That's why this looks familiar. Okay. Well, let's let everybody chat if you so desire, but... yeah. If I'm going to build Yagra, which I'd considered doing, but then I've not built Yagra before. Or it's... yeah. Later, I noticed I couldn't castle. Yeah, Yagra transposition is an interesting idea. Yeah, I think there's still potentially something there. I just knew to pursue that further, I would need to build something Yagura-like. Oh, maybe I don't... Oh. Oh. Yeah, very good point. Very, very good point. This is a very good joseki or finesse or what have you. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Like, stopping Yagra is, would greatly help me at least formulate some attack. um, right. Yeah. Indeed. It's playable, just difficult. Yeah. So yeah, from the beginning I gave myself an extra challenge by advancing that gold. Whereas pushing the rook pawn could have prevented a Yagra formation, which would have been very good, honestly. Um, Abigail. I think both to prevent pawn, what's it, 6-4, and maybe even put the rook on this file. Oh. Right. The gold, silver aren't quite there to prepare pawn 6-4 anyway. Yeah. No, that's a good point. So the problem is here. Yeah. Yeah, I was struggling quite a bit here. Okay. So, oh, just play this directly, yeah. Right. Yeah, no sense delaying that. It is tricky to, because I've made this complicated for myself multiple times already. So it might be tricky to find a continuation here, but yeah, like, yeah, the edge file is good as anything here. I've already made this difficult for myself. Yeah. Finding ideas here is tricky. Yeah. Yeah. So I should think more about that. Whether or not I play the rook to the third file or fourth file or wherever the rook goes, like, I need to stop being so afraid that silvers are going to take over my position. Huh? Well, hang on. Okay, well, ignoring the move ordering nuance here. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that bishop looks useful there. Okay, so this silver move would achieve either exchanging it or what? Oh! Yeah, like the knight move, you just play that and this becomes blocked. The silver can actually open lines, yeah. Whereas, yeah, if I move the pawn, it, yeah. Yeah, pawn pushes need to be planned. Yeah. This one doesn't really have a plan. This just blocks in my pieces like I tend to do against strong opponents who trick me into doing it, but I allow myself to be tricked. So I'm just playing some combination of strange looking moves. I'm not fully sure. Like, so I was unsure about retreating my bishop. Like, it's a bit tricky. This is where I couldn't find, like, this helps him attack, and I didn't see. You can check if it's okay to drop it back. Yeah, I end up trapped. Well, my pieces are blocked, as you point out. Like this, I wasn't looking forward to. Maybe I can, yeah. True, although I have nothing in hand, so I suppose I need to exchange somewhere, like, I don't know, this sort of thing, I don't know. This could be interesting. Okay, we're still in the opening. So it's okay to have nothing in hand. Ah. Okay, that's a good principle. Yeah, my main concern should be my king. Yeah. Right, so potentially even just like this and this or something. Yeah. Good point, yeah. So it's okay to take time to castle even the late opening. Because, like, there's time for it. Especially if he's not castled yet. Oh, okay. So we push this. Like, he stopped me from playing a Yagura, so... Or anything Yagura-like. Yeah, it still looks tricky. He has the better castle, but there's a game to be played. Well... Yeah... you're better here. But it's playable. In principle, I certainly need to castle. Yeah. Like, that's... that's why my attack failed. Yeah, right. Yeah. Makes sense. I tend to focus quite a bit on attacking and get confused when my attack runs out. Castling would result in a balanced game, yeah. Yeah. And like I've played things like Oniguma at times, and it's led to a different sort of game which has its different balance problems. I think this drop was actually fine, even if it led to a very messy position. Yeah. I somewhat like it. Not completely attached to it, but yeah, it's risky. Oh. This makes sense. This makes more sense than what I played. And then we get the bishop back in hand, and it's... My position still sucks, but I'm alive. Maybe like this. However, this is... Oh! Like... How is this too slow? a lance and a cornered bishop isn't worth this. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Wow. Yeah. It's basically an aifuribisha. And in any other opening. Yeah, no, he's right. Bishop drops are different. Okay. This is an interesting opinion. They are so sharp. And Ibisha versus Furibisha, like the kings are on the same side of the board, this might have been fine. But here my king just gets wrecked. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I wish I knew what more to say. Other than I agree. In hindsight. Like, yeah. Hindsight, that seems somewhat clear. Yeah. The line between the middle game and the end game in aifuribisha is very thin. Yeah. Okay. I do like, in some way I do enjoy playing a complex game, but I need to get better at recognizing how hard castles can be. Yeah. Oh! Okay. Well, yeah, in hindsight, like, this allowed the shot that happened at the game. Yeah, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. This was not... I didn't see the danger. Yeah. So part of it was I just ran out of ideas. Like, the line he pointed out would have been challenging and playable. What I played just isn't playable. Like, here I'm just dead. This is lost for me. Yeah. There's really... The best efforts I could make to try to salvage this don't work. Well, I don't know. I feel strongly that, like, this position's very, very bad for me. Yeah, strategically lost anyway. Yeah. Yeah, like, there's not a lot I can do here. There might be some way a computer could save this, but I'm certainly not going to find it. Oh. Later. Yeah. This check is too early. Yeah. To threaten something. Yeah. No, there were so many things I missed this game. Threaten the knight while somehow being able to pursue the king. It's like I wanted to keep this here, but also do that. And also hold on to this. But, so I like control stuff around here. But I'm just chasing the king. That's no good. Yeah, trying to find a way to salvage this is hard. Oh, right, you have to save the rook. And in theory, I need 4 pieces to attack. I don't quite have 4, and you do. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. Right. This is aifuribisha. Yeah. Makes sense. All this traditional Proverbs stuff is kind of different in this. Yeah, 2 rooks would be amazing. Oh, that's how you do, like, 2 rook mate. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Even gold and rook could do that, yeah. So, yeah. 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 Those are two very big problems. Those are two gigantic problems. Right, so now if we rook drop, it's not so effective. Yeah. I needed to castle. Well, yeah, I don't need to repeat that, but, oh, right. Yeah, I don't even have anything to block with. That's a huge problem. And my king can't run either. This is pretty bad. Yeah, one can dream. I mean, yeah. But dreams aren't becoming real. See, with that example, so now there's no golden rook drop mate. True, yeah, like I don't, there's no forks, there's no tactics, there's no nothing. His castle is much safer. Yeah. So I just worsened things by letting that happen. Yeah, I panicked after seeing that alternative moves were bad. I played something worse. Yeah. Takes 4-1, gold takes 4-1. Yeah. That makes sense. Huh. Interesting. So, like, yes, I should try to break the file open, but I don't have enough force to do it. Yeah. Resign might be a good move. After, yeah. There's like nothing I can attack here. Everything's all defended. Okay, it makes sense that, yeah, at least try to provide some kind of castle for my king. Yeah, I saw this gold drop coming. Yeah. Oh. Interesting. Yeah. Even so, like, well, silverback is pretty bad. So yeah, it makes sense to give the pawn here. Oh, there's some nuance. Oh, okay. Maybe this first. I'm curious why this first. Like, yes, my horse is off in La La Land. Yeah, lots of ideas here. Sure. Yeah. I need to get better at playing bad positions. It's not a common exercise, but I think it's an exercise I'll get by just playing more games. So I tend to get bad positions, so I'll just get experience playing them. This. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense in a way. In light of the game, like, yeah, in the game, oh, there were so many tactics. You correctly punished my escape attempt. Yeah. Oh, nice. No, that's clever. Yeah. I missed the thread altogether, although I kind of forced it to happen. Yeah. Don't take the gold. It's pointless. Yeah. Oh. I mean, I agree with this assessment. It probably doesn't much matter, because, like, there's not a whole lot I can do to try to save this. But, yeah. The slower is better, because I'd like to try to escape. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even sure what I say. Like... Yeah. Let's see, do I have any further questions? This suppose I find aifuribisha interesting because the positions can be so strange. I wonder where best to study more aifuri games. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I think I have that in a couple places. I think that's in a couple discords that I'm in. So, yeah, I'll take a closer look. Yeah. Not much yet. Oh, cool. Oh, how'd it go? Yeah, we're doing the commentary right now. And search for his games. Okay, yeah. Open that in a new window. Very nice. Right. Okay. So yeah, definitely recommended to check only the games. Okay. That I'm interested in. Not every game. Noted. Yeah. So yeah, if I'm a right-hand fourth file player, check those. Cool. I'm starting to build my own open source tools to help me better explore Hifu, etc. Yeah. But yeah, I'll bear that in mind. Okay. Makes sense. I too have some, yeah. Given what I've heard so far about it, yeah. Thanks for the exciting game and insightful commentary. Yeah, nice. Cool. See you around. Nice. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, it was a good experience. And yeah, I didn't go into this like with the mindset that, oh my goodness, I'm going to win this or anything. But I thought we'd have an interesting game. We did have an interesting game. We saw many ideas in post-game analysis. And this is why we play against strong players, is so we can learn quite a bit. I thought that like this could form a castle and that I would be able to attack somehow and it would be fine. And while that is true, yeah, like balancing attack with defense makes a lot more sense. I should, like, if I'm going to try to build a castle, this would be a reasonable way to do it. With my gold and silver in the corner, there's not really enough room for the king there. And then this left flank is open. How'd they get both bishops and both rooks? Let's take a look. It didn't happen in one move, we'll say that. Yeah, so, like, playing against beginner level players, players who aren't 1 dan or higher, I don't typically have the same problems I had this game. This game I had a problem, actually I have this problem against 1Q players as well, that my pieces just run out of squares because I have no forward planning. And we saw this game, like, I ran my knight out of squares, I ran my bishop out of squares, I ran my rook out of squares, all my pieces ran out of squares, and my opponent didn't help me. Yeah, so exchanging bishops is playable, but like I've pushed a lot of pawns. I've violated basically every shogi proverb in the name of trying to gain some material. And then ultimately, when I was able to promote my bishop, it just wasn't worth it at all because we're playing this highly dynamic game. And yeah, even if I were to try this, like, I'm still worse here. This position's still pretty bad. There were some tactical opportunities that I missed. Most notably, right here. Now, granted, like, trading pieces is not the brightest thing to do here, because, like, my king is exposed and we're trending toward an endgame, and I need to focus on castling my king, and that's the repeated thing that I did wrong. Like, I need to produce a real castle that can hold up against real attacks, because real attacks are going to happen. So, yeah, a lot of things didn't go right. Let's see, it reminds you that where you just move forward, but you don't want to, and you don't have much of a choice. Yeah, well, and this is me playing like a 15-minute game. If we were playing like a 6-hour game, perhaps I could read my way into something sensible. But probably I would still get strangled. It makes more sense for me to play 15-minute games or things like that instead of like super long or super short games. But yeah, like being able to read out, like here I kind of wanted to put my rook on this file, but then I saw like, well, here there's 3 generals. And I keep forgetting that I need to castle. Like, I keep overestimating the strength of my castle. I could be slow here and spend some time doing something like this, and maybe even the gold over and the king back up. I could spend time fixing my castle, and that would be better than the time I spent just like randomly pushing pawns forward. It's better to spend some time castling and be able to defend against attacks. On the bright side, playing this kind of crazy, kooky nonsense and encouraging my opponent to attack, I get to see how strong players attack. So this is something I've been doing quite a bit in chess. I'm kind of, sort of doing it in shogi, where I just encourage my opponent. I just keep goading them on, please attack me. And then I start making threats and like, no, really, it's time for you to attack me. And show me how you do an attack in shogi. Because, like, I see endgame puzzles, I see opening joseki. What I'm missing is, like, this lexicon of all the ways you can attack in a middle game. And there's too much to go over, it really is. But just even touching the broad strokes of, like, here I've tried to form a castle, and this castle's weak on the left, and how do you exploit that? Well, you place this pawn here, and you promote it, and you place this again. The thing I saw at the last minute here, and this was kind of the point, is that if silver takes, like, I'm so fucked. This is really bad. So yeah, watching strong players create castles as well as watching them attack will give me a lot of ideas. But here, with all my generals concentrated on the right side of the board, there's just absolutely nothing I can do. So, like, something extremely slow like this is probably fine here. Like, he's built a castle with 2 generals, I built a castle with 3, and mine is extremely weak. And then I'm going to be losing my rook. So, I did manage to keep my rook and king separate from each other. I did manage to spot this other tactic where this would have been over in an instant. But, yeah, in general, I just need to make a stronger castle. And don't attack, and don't transition to the endgame. Don't trade off all the pieces until I'm ready to attack. I know against Q level players, I just trade all the pieces and randomly I find a tactic and I find another tactic, and it either works or it doesn't, and I'm extremely inconsistent that way. But yeah, I need to watch more castle building and build a far better castle than whatever the hell this is. Like, I've seen gold, king gold before. I've seen this. This gets played, but generally a player will transition out of this into something better. And this was just good. This is great. And then he plays this forward, so he has like this very strong pressure, and it becomes very difficult for me here. And I have to decide when to transition into an endgame. So there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, if I just swap the king and the right gold, that becomes a normal castle. I mean, I could have asked Destiny about this. So what about, well, this? This is not necessary. We actually looked at this. Like, I should build something of an attack and something of defense. I was concerned with this coming over here, this coming, like, I thought I needed to defend this point. I don't really need to bother him with the little messy details of, like, okay, should I play king over? Should I play this? Like, there's a lot of ways to play aifuribisha. It's not entirely clear. But yeah, you want to have something of a castle and something of an attack. And you just want to constantly balance between the two. And instead, I built this super strong thing against this point. And later, like, this encouraged my opponent to slow down whatever they were doing. And while that made things kind of interesting, it also made things very frustrating later on when I couldn't castle. Yeah, no, I think, how do I say this? Bouncing across. No, I agree that, like, that's the hard part of shogi. It's not like chess where in a matter of a couple moves you can suddenly decide upon a thing. You need a bit more forward planning to be able to play shogi than you do for chess. In chess, if you can calculate very well, you can calculate your way out of a lot of things. I got to like 1700 or so US Chess Federation rating just by calculating things and not really knowing a lot from other players' experience. Then I started attending chess club more regularly and playing against strong players and learning from other people's experiences. So, but up to that point, like, by calculation alone, you can get pretty far in chess. Yeah, in shogi you need to balance. Like, when do I castle? How do I castle? There are lots of possibilities for castling. There was this potential Yagura idea that completely skipped me by, and then we saw Destiny do it. So him build this, and even though I had prevented this pawn move, I prevented him from doing like a full fortress here. Even though that was not allowed, he still built a pretty decent castle. And it became difficult for me to attack because I blocked all my pieces. Meanwhile, I did not build a very good castle, so interesting. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Telmarch. I've years ago in chess, I wrote this script that would compare pawn structure to a different pawn structure and come up with a similarity score. I've got this idea floating around in the back of my mind to do something similar with how similar is your castle to some set of other castles. So I'm eventually going to make such a thing. But yeah, having just a good castles tutorial and play shogi could be pretty nice too. I know Hidechi's... you could even promote Hidechi's work from it. Like, say, like, this is this castle. For more information, here's Hidechi. Like, that could work. But also being able to play out the sequences and compare that to the video is pretty good. I forget what Lichess videos contain and whether they're categorized in any way. I mean, yeah, they're categorized by opening, but yeah, there's a lot of ideas. That could be a useful tool for beginners who just constantly have to flip to Wikipedia or other resources to identify what a castle is. Being able to interact with a page is probably helpful for a beginner. Although there's multiple move sequences and it's actually pretty tricky. One of my first open source tools here, I was intending to just read the moves out of a Kifu and say, based on this sequence of moves, you played this castle. I've since learned that castling isn't always so simple. There's a lot of move order nuances, even when you're not playing Yagura. But yeah, I have all this general knowledge, but I do poorly at applying it because I have not played very many games yet. So getting the practical experience to back it up is useful too. Yeah, so I just made a very difficult opening. Somebody asked, how did he get both the rooks and both the bishops? I mean, he's 3-dan. This was a game. It was a good game. I did fight. There were tactics to be had, but my position throughout was pretty bad. Yeah, Llama was quite good already, and he's improving even further, which is pretty scary. So I don't know what more I could say other than what we've already looked at. Blocking all of my pieces was a strategic failure, and I couldn't tactic my way out of it. It's not like chess where often you'll see I'll come up with bad positions and tactic my way out of them. Like, against a skilled shogi opponent, this does not happen most of the time. Yeah, also this was good. Like, him attacking my pawn, forcing me to choose, do I go this way or that way? And then this asks the question, like, what's the pawn move about? Well, I was thinking maybe I want to put my rook here and maybe I want to try to break on the fourth file. But this is really committal. Like, yes, this is a plan. Yes, this is a good plan. Is this the best plan? Probably not. So, yeah. I should think a little bit more about timing of things. And about, like, just what is a castle good for? What is a castle bad for? Review more pro games, because I've not had any time to do that, and I need more time and more practice with that. Sug nearly beat Spinal Tap today. Oh no. Oh no, that's horrible. Wow. Oh my god. Like, Spinal Tap's very strong. Nearly beat doesn't... Yeah. Well, that's still good that Zug got a better position against Tap. If nothing else, that means we have a rivalry on our hands, which is exciting. Um, Now, it could mean a lot of things, but it definitely means that Zug played a good game. That is quite an achievement. That's good. Um, so yeah, not sure what more to say about this game. Um, well, okay, yeah, I did some last minute cramming and I didn't understand all the finesses here. Um, but because we did this cramming, now we have this future weapon. So, like, I could delay this a little bit since he's building a little bit of an attack. Maybe this is the time for me to build a little bit of an attack, get some kind of response on this side, and then go back to building my castle. So, yeah, this is interesting. And as he pointed out, like, the reason this might be useful is because you can't, like, play this to stop the pawn push. So if I push this immediately, I've got something. And this makes for an interesting game because then I can actually play with my rook. Instead of what actually happened in the game where all my pieces were depressed. But yeah, this is something I wanted to learn more about. I don't regret at all playing this way. Like, I know a lot of my other games I've been playing aifuribisha. No, I've been playing nakabisha, the central file. I know I've been doing this quite a bit, but I didn't want to get trapped into some opening nuance where just one player happened to know one move that completely changes the way the game goes. So, like, yeah, I'm glad to have played the game the way I did. It provided a lot of learning opportunities both about how to attack and how to defend and what it means to transition into an endgame where everything just keeps trading and there's no stopping it. You can actually control the point at which an endgame happens. At least that's the sense that I got here, is that, like, he built up as much of a castle as he felt was necessary against mine, and then he decides to pawn break. Like, this is good, this is brilliant, and this led to this additional pawn break, and, like, his rook's open. Now he's offering to trade things because he feels safe. I don't feel safe, and I did this anyway. Like, for several months I've been playing shogi, always in this sensation of, gosh, I don't know, like, my king is unsafe. Even when I play Anaguma, I feel that way, and that's ridiculous that I feel that way, but it's not so much the king that's unsafe, but the rest of the position that's just super unclear. But here, I kind of felt safe, but not really. I felt as safe as I was going to get. Like, I didn't see a way to improve things further, because I'd already sufficiently effed things up. So yeah, he's got a really good point, that just exchanging here probably makes the best of a bad situation. And yeah, he would prefer to have this gold defending the king. Yeah, I didn't even see, like, this would force the gold to move. I was thinking, I don't know, maybe the rook defends this, and now he's got a bishop drop, but I'm actually kind of secure against a bishop drop. It's just I'm under pressure because this is brilliant. This is just a very good way to play. So, yeah, I should make sure to castle before opening things. I can't dream that every attack I have is always going to break through. Even though I play that way and it's hilarious for an audience, leads to some very exciting games. But yeah, let's try to play better. So this is a good, instructive game. yeah, I'm glad I put in some time to study, try some ideas. I was glad Destiny was able to review things. We did disagree on a couple points, and then he showed me more things, and then I agreed with him. This is why we have discussions. It's not to prove who's right and who's wrong. It's not... I don't need to comment on the chess world. Yeah, where players in chess can sometimes get affixed to a result, or fixated on a result, and say a lot of interesting things. Here, in the post-game analysis, I just spoke what was on my mind. It wasn't really affected by the result. It was just... the result is what it was. I mean, toward the end, yeah, I was a little affected by the result, but I played as good a game as I could have hoped to play. So yeah, I mentioned this during the game, like this also is bad. So, yeah, I just need to castle better. So yeah, thanks to everybody, both here and on 81 Dojo for our post-game commentary, etc. Being that we've done 2 ladder games today and some coding in between, I think I'm going to take a break for now. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.